Who's ready? Who's ready? Who's ready for some boom, baby? Boom! These poor bastards are out here on I-beams in the snow. It's still kind of snowing, and yes, you can see that it snowed last night. I did a little slow motion video. At least it's off the windowsill now, but fuck me if it isn't full spring. You know, you think you're springing forward and then it springs you backwards, and then you think you're coming to a beautiful summer area in Finland and it's still doing its Finland snow thing. And I'm just like, man, I am here. I am here for it. I don't get to be anywhere else but here in the now. And this is why these things shape us. You know, every situation's shaping you. And maybe you didn't see the message, but this morning, marijuana motivation, you already know, Saints Addiction. I'm going to go live. Well, I'm live to shout this message to you. I am here now, and you are here too. So here's what goes on, right? Let me get a joint going here. Here's what goes on in most of our worlds is that we leave our world. And most people don't want to believe it, but they do. We have a great way of distracting ourselves. Like, we are so good at distracting ourselves. We don't realize that we're distracting ourselves. We feel like we're just giving ourselves a break, or doing things that we want to do, or I don't know how we want to frame it in our heads, but this is what we do as people: is we go inside of our head and we create a false world. But yeah, that's what we do. We live in a fake world because the real world hurts too much. It has too many lessons. It has too many educations. It has too much pain. But we didn't want to let that pain go away, right? We wanted to lead us. And that's not what we're doing. We're not leading ourselves anymore. I want to show this while I'm on my YouTube live. Let me see if it can show me. Yeah, your videos. Let me see. Am I live right now? Didn't even show me live. What the hell? Subscriptions. What in the tar nations is going on here? You know what I mean? How do I know where I'm going live if I have to press the button several times? That's not it. How do we, your videos? No, your channel. View channel. Here we go. Let's see. Am I live? There I am. And I put every success, right there. Every success story has a secret story of pain. But it's not about how it hurt you. It's about what the hurt led to. Okay? And that's why when you're here and now and you're really holding it, like when I was in South Korean prison, or I was trying to wrap my mind around it, that's what was end up happening. Let me sending out an SOS. Sending out an SOS. Yeah. Allergies too. Achoo! 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 It's been that way my whole life, and I don't know why, but this thing keeps looking hazy to me. Stop being so hazy, lady. It is still hazy. Mind your business, lady. We're out here making it happen, and that's what we do. It's your boy Marquis Saint living his blessed life. Even though it's snowing in Finland, I have to remember that my life isn't in prison. When we compare things, not to a distraction, but to what it actually is, right? I'm getting inundated with faceless porn comments like, you never tag anybody. I'm like, that's because everybody's always anonymous. Well, how come they're using this image on different parts of the web? They're allowed to co-share their content. I'm sure you didn't just post your photo just to TikTok. It went to Twitter, it went to Facebook, it went everywhere. And then all of a sudden people are going, oh, hey, I seen it on another page. And I'm like, I'm sure they used it multiple times, you genius. But people are going to see the way they want to see. They're going to frame it in their mind and reframe it till it fits exactly the way they want it to be. And this is why we're having this conversation. So if you're going to shape it and frame it and make it, get off me, and make it whatever you want it to be, then this is the story that we see. This is the story that we tell. This is the story that we learn. This is the story that we tell ourselves. And as long as it's sellable to our brain, we'll buy it. She didn't love me. He's probably fucking someone else. Um, 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 that wasn't meant for me. I don't deserve it. I mean, we'll throw shit at ourselves just so we can be like, you know what? I'm not ready for a relationship. How many times have you heard that? Right? It's when you stop looking is when you start finding. How many times have you heard that? You know what I mean? Like, it's just thinking, we'll program ourselves and we'll believe the lie at the same time. We'll be like, yep, that's it. He's just busy at work. You know what I mean? Like, whatever makes us calm with the results. Come on, man. This paper's just flying all over the place this morning. Come on, do your thing, man. Stop being a little bitch. Stop being such a suspect. But that's what it is. We live in a world, right? One track mind, where if we get on that track, we barely leave. We barely get off the train tracks. Even if the train is coming, we tend to sit still instead of get moving. And this is why I'm having this conversation, because I am here now because I moved myself here. And I also can move myself in other directions. I can move my energy. I can move me. And that has been a big transformation, I have to say. I have to see it. You have to see it to believe it. But to not jump in every argument. Not every argument is my huckleberry. Not every situation deserves all of me. And all the attention and drama that these girls be seeking, they quickly realize that they're losing their lifespan. They're not getting any younger. And by wasting their time on drama, first it was the attention that they were seeking, right? But now they're not putting any attention into themselves. This is why it's a distraction, right? So you can keep going after people like trying to control their opinions. Like I said yesterday, the guys are just trying to talk shit to me because I was arrested 15 years ago in South Korean prison, and now they have some Joint We Club. Some guy, Johnny Sins or whatever his name is, that's the porn star, but some guy is getting locked up in South Korean prison, and everybody wants to see what's going to happen to him because they want to distract their lives. What's going to happen to them? Why aren't you worried about what's going to happen to you? I'm just curious. Like, how is your ability to focus on someone else so strong, but to focus on you and what you're going to do gets very dwindled, right? We can't wait for the drama to lead. If it bleeds, it leads. It's getting our foremost attention, and then we can't get our heads or horns out of it. And I'm here to tell you that there's so much more to learn. There's so much more to focus on than just, oh, what's happening with my boyfriend? You must be bored. You know what I mean? Like, you must be bored. You got nothing better to do if that's what all you do during your lifespan is check what others are doing. What's going on with Jay-Z and Beyonce? Are they still married? You know what I mean? How much is someone else's net worth but my own? I mean, why aren't you looking up how to be financially secure and books to read on that? No, it's better to just see how much net worth is Puff Daddy or Jay-Z or some of these guys that we obsess about their relationships, their marriages, how much money they make, instead of what the fuck we're doing for our own lives. Isn't that amazing? The distraction is real, and there you are. Distracted, not focused, not doing the things that you said you were going to do, literally tricked by your own self into falling into the same spot that you were before. That's how we do it. Look at me. I'm rolling my joints again. My joints like to keep me like this, but I also do my work before I begin. I also get up earlier, and it's the morning motivation. After that, I got to stay motivated, even in this snow-covered hills, right? I still got to go outside and get some food, bundle up and try to talk to somebody during the day, and maybe holler at the girl that was on the elevator. That would be awesome. You know what I mean? Like, we have to have something that moves us. It's purpose that binds us, but it's also got to move you. That's why it's passion over paycheck. It's because you don't want to be just the person that just did it for some lump sum or a sum zero game, right? You're in the game. You are here now. And what you do with the now, like I said yesterday, transpires every day. Incrementally, we just look at like, I didn't get fit the first day at gym. All right. These undoings, these distractions that we've had have been implemented in us since probably 6 years old, 8 years old. It's usually when we come of age, when we're not just like, please feed me, please wipe my own ass, and I become my own individual. I taught myself how to ride a bike when I was 8 years old. But these kind of things that we have in our lives, right? The themes and the things that come about from it is all the situation. It's all the rage. This is why I keep trying to get everybody on the same page, and it's not going to ever be the same page. There's 12 different zodiacs and people from all over the world in 256 countries and 52 different languages, and you know what I mean? Like, not everybody's going to agree. That's fine. I get that, you know, but everybody's going to have time to be free, right? To be themselves and start shaping themselves. You've had plenty of time to do that. And this is where it comes down to it. You know what I mean? This is where it goes down to, did I put in the time, or did I get handed over to a distraction? This is the kind of discipline, right? That D word that nobody wants to deal with, the discipline that you are in control of you. That you pump the mind full of the thoughts, and the thoughts get the feelings, and you choose how you want to feel. I remember my ex saying you're toxic positivity, and it's just like, no, I don't want to be a grumpy butt. I don't wake up grumpy butt. There's some people that like, good morning, and they're like, what's good about it? And I'm like, not you, you know what I'm saying? You know, maybe you ain't got it. Maybe you're still stuck in your drama and you can't push yourself to the limits. And this is why I said I was about to call this push yourself, because it's like I didn't want anybody to push themselves, you know what I mean, like off of anything. But to push yourself in directions that you didn't think you could go is where all the joy and happiness is. It's not sitting where you are, it's going where you can be. And that's huge for somebody. That's huge for most people, to be able to see, like, hey man, I don't have to fucking not just be here in Finland, right? I get to be here in my feelings or in my thoughts or for my business. I've been able to grow it and things, leaps and bounds I didn't even know I could. Do you know what I mean? Like, I didn't even know people were in on it. And here we are having this conversation, you know, always and forever trying to reach for different destinations. And the destinations are unknown, but they pull us to places that we're not at anymore. You know what I mean? You already know your stories. You already know your situation, but what you don't know will scare you, but it'll also take you from where you are. That's so interesting to me. Like, you don't want to be, I don't want to be here right now. How many people said, get me out of here, Mr. Wizard? I know I have. I know the Matrix has. And that's what I did in Vegas. I said, get me out of here, Mr. Wizard. And it did. He got me out of it. Now I'm in the snow of Vegas, or of Finland, and I'm just going like, oh man, I mistimed it. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. All I know is I am here motherfucking now, and that's all that matters. What you do with your now will define the rest of your life, and I am not joking about that. That's the big morning motivation. That's the real, oh shit, you know what I mean? Like how I pump my station, my radio station, my head with dread or fear or obstacles, then that's what I'm going to see. It's going to be the only thing that I see, because it's the only thing that I concentrate on, and therefore it expands, and that's the way it's going to be. The way that you are is the way it's going to be. Unless you want to change who you are, then it won't change anything. I'll wait. Then again, I won't, and neither will life. I got news for you, player. Player, Himalaya. Situations be changing, and you got to be able to change with them. What an interesting topic. For you to get different results, you're going to have to do different things. Isn't that weird? And for you to have all the drama as a distraction, which is most people, we never concentrate on our purpose and our patterns. Isn't that interesting as well? Got the lighter. And that's what we do. We like to distract ourselves because it keeps us from feeling the way we don't want to feel. And it keeps us doing the things that we want to do. And then they come up with the concept of a female Peter Pan, right? I don't ever want to grow up. I don't need a man. I don't want to have kids. I'm better by myself. And it was just like, yeah, just like Peter Pan. It's a female Peter Pan, 3D weed on shirts, you know what I'm saying? Make sure you go to Roken Vapes. Mention Saints Addiction for 15% off. That's right. I sell this stuff. I don't sell snow though. Join Weed Club. Join Weed Club, man. Make sure it's a reality. Make sure there's some gravity. Make sure that there's some weight to what you're doing, because we are here now, and what we do in the now transpires from everything. The days have gone by, and I think I've literally watched in this week one whole level go up in this construction site, and they're even still working in the fucking snow. You got me fucked up. And then it's like, that's some hard work right there. And we can work hard. We can work long, hard, and crazy hours, but the hard work comes in the inside. Sitting here doing the push-ups with your mental health is really important. Most of us don't want to have that kind of conversation. We don't want to really get real with ourselves. We want to stay distracted. What's up with that conversation? But I sat long enough. I sat my ass in the snow and asked myself, why are you here? A lot of people don't go that deep with themselves, with the Neville Goddards and listening to the audiobooks and go, what is my purpose? Most people can't tell you. They'll tell you their name. They'll tell you their career and what they do for a living, but they can't tell you who they are. And this is why I am here. I am a traveler. I am a brand ambassador. Always knew I was a little weird and things were going to be happening. So I said, let me wear some clothes if you're going to be watching. Haters make me famous. If I get that much attention from South Korea in prison, and if I get that much attention from Periscope, and I get that much attention in the streets with my drama and what's happening with me, if you want to watch, buy a shirt. Don't believe me, just buy it. And I put it out there, bro. I put myself out there. I put myself on the chessboard, exactly where I wanted to be, so I can't complain. Yeah, is the weather not what I want it to be? I'm going to earn this summer. I'm going to watch it turn to spring. I'm going to watch all these beautiful flowers press through the snow and say, I am here. I am here now. Whether you want to make it spring or not, the rest of the world's on the same page. Get with it. Get with yourself. Brush your teeth with the left hand. Tell yourself you love yourself. Have conversations with yourself. Especially after you say something negative, pump yourself back up and say, you know what, say something positive. The other times I'll be like, fuck my life. I'll be so frustrated, fuck my life. And then I'll be like, nope, I love my life. I love my life. I love my life. I love my life! Look, I got this, dude. Do you love your life? No, you just want to stare at people. Look, he's afraid. He's afraid of loving his life. He goes back to him and his little puppy. Look at this thing. He's going to freeze. Oh my God, dude, don't get this dog on a leash. But that's what it is. People are afraid to look someone in the eyes. They're afraid to look at someone's soul. They're afraid to have that deep motherfucking conversation. Like, what am I doing with my life? Who am I? And what is my purpose? What drives me? What distracts me? What about me is keeping me from my full potential? Look at all three of these people just came out to throw food away at the same. He's walking his dog. He's throwing away trash, and the other girl's meeting them. What if they're on a rendezvous? Oh, trois plat. They're just going to walk past each other and not say hi. No one's seen another human being all day, and they're just going to walk by. Just walk on by. Ooh-wee, yeah. That's all that I have, so let me try. The pain and the hurt, and I say it when we say goodbye. Walk on by. Do. And that's what we do. We just keep walking by, not saying hi, not going out of our comfort zones, just staying comfortable. And that's where dreams go to die. Your comfort zone. Oh, I would have had that invention, but I was sitting on the couch. And then you'll be on the couch again and someone else will invent it. And then you'll be watching it and you'll be like, damn, I could have done something about it. But you didn't. You didn't pump yourself with the believability. You didn't pump yourself up off the couch. You didn't pump yourself in a new direction. And you didn't give yourself a chance. That's all it is. Every day you have a fighting chance to fight back at this thing called life, and it punches. I don't know anybody that hasn't been punched by life, either by death or by loss or by hurt or pain. That's why I said that pain. What did it lead to? They didn't even talk to each other. She's a beautiful girl, and he just passed by with a beautiful fucking dog, and no one even said hi. Interesting. Just scared, man. Everything you want's on the other side of fear. You're just too afraid to knock. Come on. And I'm not afraid to knock. I'm not even afraid to get knocked down. I kept reaching out. And then the girl was like, you follow me on Instagram. And I was like, you gave your Instagram up. And then it's like, you only got one DM and accused me of stealing content. I fired back and you said I was yelling at you, and I didn't even yell. I just said, this is so immature. This is so childish. But what she do, she kept being more childish. She kept going with the drama because that's what these girls do. It gets so much attention. And even today, she was like, you gotten far more attention out of me than you deserve. And I was like, that's you putting distractions out there, dude. You can't wait for, like, if it bleeds, it leads. Let me get my whole day in paragraphs of explanations and data points. And it was just like, you just got tossed by the boss, bro. You can't wait to be giving me a bunch of attention, and haters make me famous. And that's what it does. So whatever you put your attention on grows. Or maybe you didn't know. Maybe you didn't know you were distracted because you're so far in your comfort zone. You had no idea what was happening. That's why you have to have time with yourself. Time to concentrate. Time to meditate. Time to have counsel with yourself and say, self, what are we doing with this soul? All right? And sit around just like the Jenkins and say, you, anxiety, how come you keep fucking me up? And you, depression, you guys are triggering each other. And you, my procrastination, I'm gonna tell that bitch to chill. If you've never seen the video, just stop watching me, hit pause, go to Fun with the Jenkins or something like that, the Jenkins family, and the lady literally captured herself with before she even woke up, her brain was running with anxiety. I got to take the kids to school, they got to have their lunches. Okay, insomnia, you keep me up late watching crime documentaries, so I'm a big waste in the morning. And then anxiety, you wake me up and I'm just going to be a big stress case, and then I'm going to let it out all on my kids, and that's not what I want. So then I'm going to go back into depression. And she labeled herself. That's pretty hardcore. She wrote on the t-shirts, insomnia, depression, anxiety. Those are your fucking competition. That's the hardest to beat. I'm a depression survivor. I'm trying to tell you. Every time sometimes get darker again, like, I don't want to live in Depressionville. That took years off my life, years that I didn't get to appreciate. And now that I'm not doing that anymore, I can sit here and be in gratitude, dude. And be like, I never thought I would thank South Korean prison. I never thought it would ever be grateful for an experience like that. But it told me that I'm a fucking beast. I went in a man and I came out a monster. Saints Addiction would have never launched, bro. That was all out of anger and heartache and determination. I was just so mad that they were going to take 5 years of my life for 3 grams. I was pissed. And I was like, watch what I can do with 5 years. Oh, don't believe me, just watch. Da-da. You know what I mean? And it just went off. And it's been slow going. But now I have plenty of designs. We're redoing the thumbnails. Intersect.ai is going to be pumping up. Soon we'll have a social media poster. Won't have to do this shit by hand anymore. We're going to do this by design. This is life by design. I am here now because I designed it that way. I timed it wrong, but I didn't get to plan. You know, someone kicked my shit out and I got the fucking flight for fucking $200. So what am I bitching about? You know, and I got this flat for a week for $300. So here I am. Could have lost $500 in a fucking gambling. Some people do. And then they wonder why they never travel or never do anything with their lives. It's like, well, what did you do? Or what did you do differently? That's my favorite question for people. You want something different out of your life. What did you do differently to get some different experience, some change, something has to change, right? for there to be some change. It has to be some catalyst. It has to have some ignition. There has to be some kind of chemical that you pump yourself with, whether it's endorphins when you start talking to yourself at the gym. That helps, when you start pumping yourself up with meditation and mantras, that stuff helps. And when you actually do start taking control of your body and go, you know what, I'm gonna go to the fucking gym. How hard is it? I remember Jenny Face. She's like, I get mad at myself because I'm panty locked. I'm mad at myself because I can't get unpanty locked. And it's just like, yep. And then another day will go by. You'll just be relaxing and you're like, I deserve this. I deserve this. I deserve this ice cream. I deserve this purse. I deserve all these distractions that I give myself. You deserve the outdoors, dude. You deserve nature. You deserve fresh air. You deserve a chance. That's what you deserve. And allow your body, mind, and soul to take that journey. To give yourself that benefit to say, hey man, I got this life. And I earned it, so I might as well enjoy it. Play the cards that I was dealt instead of fucking sitting there playing pickup sticks, man. This isn't a game, man. Your life's not a game. It's really interactive, and I use this platform and my words and my brands to reach people, to show them it wasn't just sitting on my ass. I went and made a shop. I went and did a fucking weed festival. I went around the world. I'm wearing my brands. No one else has these, bro. These lenticular designs. I literally had to cut the embroidery line. I remember when it was off this way. Like things. Man, so much I've learned, but I've earned what I've learned. You know what I mean? I've paid my dues. You know what I'm saying? And I'm willing to pay more. Whatever it takes, whatever the cost, I want to be the boss, and that's why I'm CEO. I want to be the boss of my own life. I want to be the guy that says I'm going to do what I do, and it happens. I want to be able to. That's what we have to do as men anyway. When they're talking about your boy Holmath, and he was doing self-actualization. It's like you can't just not only have the idea, you got to put the power in the idea to become real. That's what the girls are looking for. That's what success looks like, and that's the task of a man. You know what I mean? And a woman too. Don't be just like living in fucking La Laville. You're on a timer too. I mentioned it with T.I. yesterday when he was like, once I had my first baby, I was on the clock. I had 9 months to stack, and that's when he started his rap career. But you got to start your life, man. You got to get there. Get your foot on it and try to start this thing called your life, because man, oh man, does it like to stall? Does it like to have an excuse of a flat tire? Does it like to just sit in the garage and collect dust, man? Don't let your life collect dust, bro. Dust it off. Go get yourself a handkerchief, man. Get that white glove test out and just be like, inspect your shit. Just inspect your shit and be like, did I wipe my own ass? Have I been taking care of myself? You know what I mean? Have I been reinforcing my dreams? And that's the conversation only you can have with yourself. That's where Saint's addiction came from. Is literally, I'm a saint, but I have these addictions. How do I have this conversation with both my sides, turn negatives into positives, and use it? Use that energy, use that kind of obsession and compulsion that addiction comes with, and make that about your business. Every time I had a broken heart, thought about her, did something else for my business. Every time I didn't think I could, did another event. And even with I didn't even make any money like last weekend, I still showed up. I wasn't on the couch, and Lord knows what kind of deals might come from that. A lot of people took pictures of our shop location off of Google. Some people wanted to order names on shirts for their kids, and by the way, I'm doing the logo for Pila Pica. So look, it all works out in the end. You got to just put in the work and trust in the universe. But that catalyst, that's up to you. That chemical, whatever special ingredient, salt-based shit you're sprinkling on this, that's the taste of your meal. And that's the variety. That's the spice of life. So I am here now, mind, body, and soul. I would like you to be able to gather yourself, especially next time you're nervous. I felt it the other day. I was kind of going to get nervous because I was in the grocery store, and I said, center yourself. And it did. Peace and love. And as always, Chigaton. That means goodbye, but not forever in Finnish. And yes, I am calling you from snowy Finland. Oh, man. Go be free. Peace and love. And as always, like, share, subscribe below. You already know. And I'll see you on the other side of your fear, the other side of your excuses, and the other side of the world, because that's exactly where I am now. Peace. See you later. Later, alligator. I got shit to do. Yup.